Hello, my name is Roger Gifford and I am chair of the Green Finance Institute here in the UK. In February this year, we hosted a meeting with representatives from over 25 financial institutions, from banks, asset managers and asset owners from around the world to get their views on how the financial sector can best act upon the findings of the Dasgupta review. The review is an independent global review on the economics of biodiversity loss, led by Professor Sir Partha Dasgupta of Cambridge University. It was commissioned by Her Majesty's Treasury and was supported by an advisory panel drawn from public policy, science, economics, finance, and business. And it calls for changes in how we think, how we act, and especially how we measure economic success and protect and enhance our prosperity and the natural world rather than use it all up. This thinking is grounded in a deep understanding of the ecosystem processes and how they're affected by economic activity, and it sets out why we should account for nature in economics and decision-making. Two chapters of the review in particular, numbers 17 and 20, discuss the role of the finance sector of biodiversity loss and its role in potentially harming nature. They also look at the opportunity to mobilize capital towards nature-positive outcomes. The meeting we hosted back in February has resulted in a set of recommendations for action that we've since taken to financial institutions and service providers around the world and to those working in the field of biodiversity to discuss them and refine them. This has resulted itself in a pathway for action, a set of 12 recommendations, 10 for the finance sector and 2 for the public sector. The financial sector recommendations look particularly at best practice, how best to assess risk and impact now, what policies to adopt, and which sectors to focus on. They also look at how to move capital. How can we bring finance at scale into nature-positive investments using purpose-defined products that we already have, like sustainability-linked bonds, sustainability-linked loans, green bonds? How can we help new products like that to launch? And how can we support the development of the carbon offset market so it has a broader impact on the future? And finally, the recommendations talk about collaboration and upskilling. Perhaps more than ever, given the complexity and the urgency of addressing biodiversity loss, we must work together smartly by avoiding duplication of efforts and initiative fatigue. Not just aspiration, we want practical solutions. We also need to educate our financial sector, cross-pollinating good ideas and talent from the environmental sector, science and finance, increasingly understanding and working with each other. That spirit of collaboration will also need to encompass the public sector. Some concessionary capital will be required so that we can de-risk early-stage nature-based investments, and we will need policies that encourage those investments. Finally, in our public sector recommendations, we make a call to governments around the world to establish a baseline and targets for natural capital and to assess the finance gap. In doing so, they will signal transition risk and support the growth of a new asset class. This will allow KPIs to be developed and investors and project managers alike to have the confidence that any investments are really going to be impactful. These last 2 points and several of these recommendations we explore in more detail with experts in short recorded panels just to come up. So I invite you to read the recommendations, watch or listen to the videos, and we welcome very much your feedback. Thank you.